So we're in Rappahannock County, which is about 2 hours outside of Washington, D.C.
Nestled deep within the Blue Ridge Mountains near Sperryville, Virginia, pick your own produce orchards blossom.
The breezes that roll off the valley and roll through, it's really peaceful.
But the owners of newly opened FT Valley Farm, Algus and Kathy Pencunis,
Well, I'm glad you brought the boys back. Are you guys ready to pick?
are coping with a unique problem.
And then take a bite.
They've got too many apples.
It's a crunchy, juicy, dark red ball of deliciousness.
We realized how much fruit was coming in and then saying, oh my goodness, where is all this going to go?
Settlers first tilled this land nearly 300 years ago. Centuries later, this season's bounty of 1.5 million apples off their 12,000 trees is overwhelming even the most optimistic of planters.
This year has been incredible.
This couple, their children, and a small dedicated staff
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
sell plenty of farm fresh Fujis. Their focus now? Sharing their bounty. These bulging baskets, filling wagon after wagon of apples, are heading to food insecure families in Northern Virginia.
We're picking all the apples that are going to be donated to the school.
I feel like it's my duty to take care of my neighbors, and I know my husband feels the same way.
This desire to give back stems from a historic trauma faced by Augus's Lithuanian parents. During World War II, they knew what it meant to go hungry while eluding the Nazis. That remnant of human suffering passed down through the generations makes it painful for these two to waste anything.
You see all these apples and you're like, okay, they need a home and let's get them out to where it can help people.
So the farm is partnering with Be the Good Project this fall.
And these apples are going to go to local schools that have high levels of food insecurity and free and reduced lunch rates.
Amber and Sterling Marchand formed Be the Good Project at the pandemic's height. On this day, Amber delivered a big bag to Groveton Elementary School in Fairfax County.
All right, guys. How about some apples?
Mine's juicy, it's sweet, and it's a little bit sour.
And Be the Good Project is extending the lives of these apples even more by finding good-hearted bakers like Mary Brooke.
I like big cookies. Big cookies.
Brooke says people have always been there for her during her various health struggles. So to return the favor, she spends hours making goodies for those in need.
Something I could still do for my fellow man.
These cookies to be heading to a DC homeless shelter.
People are important. Very important.
So important that they deserve only FT Valley Farm's finest.
These kids deserve to have a nutritious, well-balanced meal just like our kids have. All kids deserve it. It's really rewarding for me to know that these kids are going to be able to take a bite of the apple that we grew right here on the orchard.
I'm Jay Korff for 7 News.
This is my airplane, it's a Cessna Centurion 210.
For nearly 50 years, Dr. George Jones, a pharmacist from Maryland, has been soaring the skies.
Luggage, getting my charts and approach plates.
His love of aviation only outdone by his desire to serve others, like he did for decades as an Air Force officer.
And I enjoy helping folks get where they need to be.
This 2-hour trip from Virginia to North Carolina,
And we'll be leaving Fort Royal Airport and going south, down toward Fayetteville.
includes making sure passenger Tina Beller is comfortable aboard a flight she needed but never expected.
This will be exciting.
Jones volunteers for Angel Wings for Veterans and its umbrella organization, Mercy Medical Angels, a national network of pilots shepherding wounded warriors to to medical appointments at no charge. On this day, Joan's job was to get retired Army Sergeant Tina Beller to a weekend retreat at the Lone Survivor Foundation, a nonprofit helping veterans heal from the invisible and often life-altering impacts of PTSD.
Mortars and rockets were always flying into our living support area.
Beller, a public affairs specialist, was the very first person to respond to a mortar attack in 2004 near U.S. headquarters in Baghdad that claimed multiple lives.
And blood was just kind of pouring.
It's what she did not find, an additional victim that still haunts her.
If I didn't see him. And I had survivor's guilt for quite some time that if I had only had better eyes, I would have seen him and perhaps been able to render first aid and saved him, and he wouldn't have died. And so I carried that around for quite a while. I still get upset about it. I know it's not my fault. I know that I was just in an unusual place at an unusual time, but that's why I choose to serve.
Beller's work, relationships, her mental and physical health all suffered in the years to follow.
Like my soul felt disconnected from my physical body. And I just felt like I was just kind of walking through life like a ghost.
But with a lot of work, Beller is now in a much better place.
I am grateful for the flight, but I'm more grateful for the fact that this man has walked a mile in my shoes and knows what it means to serve.
And he didn't let me down, so thanks.
Thanks. Take care of yourself.
I will. I'll see you Tuesday, okay?
And I just tell you, that was like the greatest thing, to be able to sit there with a veteran right by my side, and you feel safe, you feel like he's competent and confident, you know he's tactically and technically proficient, you know you're gonna get there on time and safe, and like all your worries are gone. And to know that we did that together, that meant something. That meant something special to me.
While flying back to Virginia with Dr. Jones, I couldn't help but wonder how therapeutic the weekend would be for Tina. She told me later her sessions were transformative, allowing her to turn trauma into strength. And she wants others living with PTSD to know that they are not broken or damaged, and they deserve the chance to heal. Hope exists, especially when you're surrounded by angels on earth. I'm Jay Korff for 7 News.